too is it's never a story about Potts in my life. It's seldom. There are some.
That looks as good.
Most often, it's a story about Louise and Potts.
Mr. Gadget.
That's to me.
And
is-
Brooke and Nani.
Now that to me should never be forgotten. It isn't for me. It was never, Potts and Brooke. It was Louise and Potts and Noni and Brooke and all the fun. When I was in Vietnam, I wanted to marry Noni after spending an awful lot of time at Louise Potts' apartment. And
Wait a minute.
that wasn't the other.
They're not for your children.
And she visited.
It was a 3-bedroom apartment.
So I went to Singapore to visit Randy Old, who some in the room know, who was a deacon at Chapel Hill, who was with Chase Bank in Singapore, and the purpose of that visit was to buy an engagement ring for Noni. So Randy and his wife Jody took me down to a jeweler, an Indian man, who had diamonds, and they were fine, and it was a reputable jeweler, and so I bought this ring that was to be set, and it wasn't all that great, but we were going to set. But it happened.
It's gorgeous.
No, that's not it. That's not it. It moved on. So what happened was the ring was to arrive back to me in Vietnam because I was going. It was near the end of my time there, and I was going on R&R, and I was to bring it to Hawaii to meet Noni, where she courageously, against the wishes of her parents. Yeah, her mother.
I know.
Flew from New York to Hawaii to be with me because they didn't like me.
To get engaged.
They never liked me.
No,
Potts is part of that problem.
To get
Yeah, I mean, he was as much as blame as I was, to tell you the truth.
that's true.
No, that is true. I mean,
Well, tell that one next.
seriously, I would have done a whole lot better with your parents if he hadn't been so contributing to the problem. So the ring never arrived. So then while I was there, I called Potts. I said, "She's the ring didn't arrive. I'm going to send it to you. They're going to send it to you in Louise at LaGuardia Airport."
It's Kennedy.
And then
Whatever.
so Louise and Potts and Noni went out to
No,
No, not Noni.
I was being surprised.
Yeah, she was back. Although she'd been to Hawaii and we'd gotten engaged with sort of a fake ring,
fake diamond ring.
which she threw away, which always does bother me. But anyway, the real ring was en route somewhere between Asia and New York. So Louise and Potts went out to LaGuardia, and the guy, it was Potts tells me, the guy said, "Yeah, what do you want?" He says, "I'm here to pick up a package." And the guy said, "Well, what's it look like?" He said, Potts said, "The room was full of giant boxes." He said, "Well, it's about this big. It's coming from Singapore." And the guy said, "Well, what are you talking about?" So they picked up the ring, the two of them. And that's why I said it's never about Potts alone. It's about Louise and Potts. And they took Noni out for dinner.
No, she couldn't. No, this is
No,
this is the good part.
So what
We
happened?
went by and Potts got down on his knees
Right.
and proposed to Noni. We had a bottle of champagne. And Noni said, "This is great, but I've got to go. I'm going to dinner with my aunt. I got to go."
Well, you fucked up the whole story. I never knew that.
How many times have we told him that
A million.
That happened?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear
he
it.
didn't want to hear it. You're right. That
All
is
right. So
true.
he engaged in Louise. He got down on his knees and he
Proposed to
said,
Noni. My
and then
best
I
friend
came
was.
back from Vietnam, and a few days later, I got. No, you're not.
Potts, this is something else. Potts and Brooke, Johnny Loud luckily avoided the draft because he had an injury. And couldn't
So
get
he
it.
said.
And then he
So
he's had a tough time on Veterans Day.
So every Veterans Day, Brooke and Potts would do a conference call and call Johnny to wish him a happy Veterans Day. Oops, sorry.
Sorry. Not your holiday. Oh, sorry, it's not your holiday. I guess we
Never fail.
I mean, it's something
Never-
that
yeah.
we have enjoyed over the years so
So-
much. And even my kids, they say, "Oh, it's the call coming
It's
in."
the call.